What is up, guys? This is Vindy Swartz, and I'm coming to you guys with a deck profile for the beginning of BT8. Since it is around the corner, I wanted to give you guys my deck profile for my X-Antibody deck and give you all the updates on it and all this other nice stuff because this is the deck that I'm really looking forward to playing come BT8. There are a few other decks that I'm looking forward to that I'm going to do deck profiles on, but this is the one that I just fell in love with ever since we found out that Alphamon was getting further support down in BT7, and ever since then I just like playing the deck. It's really fun, it's very competitive. Outside of like Alphamon itself, the deck is fairly cheap for picking up like base rarity of the deck, but if you want max out rarity, it'll run you around $600 to $700. I got lucky and picked everything up very very quick and early into BT7 when people thought the deck was ass. But anyway, let's without further ado, let's get into this video and let's start with our eggs. I'm playing 4 copies of Dorumon. This is the best egg. There's a new egg in BT8 that you could play, but I don't recommend because this is the only egg that you need. You're mostly going to go into 4 eggs. You never need a 5th egg. If you're going into a 5th egg, then you pretty much lost the game anyway. But yeah, we're just playing this guy because whenever we add a source to our stack, we get to draw a card, and it's really good for giving us that draw power that we need. So whenever we digivolve, most of the time, we're going to be adding a card to our stack that turn anyway with various effects. So we'll be drawing 2 instead of just once that turn, or 3 turn. We'll be drawing 3 per turn instead of once. If we draw for turn, digivolve, and then add a source, we'll be drawing 3 cards that turn. So yeah, let's start off with our rookies. For the rookies, we're going to play 4 copies of Son of Rizamon. I honestly have no idea what you can substitute out this card for. Most of the time, people would recommend something like Toyagumon, but playing Toyagumon in this deck is kind of redundant because you already have a card that guarantees you getting reboot. So I don't recommend Toyagumon. Maybe play the other Toyagumon. I think it just gives DP or something like that. But this is really good and it's very quintessential for the deck. It helps you check those big stacks. You can get like 3 to 4 security checks on one hit, or sometimes even 5. This is just really good for helping you put on pressure in the game. If you play it, all of your black Digimon with 13 DP or more get piercing. So it's just really good to have your Digimon swing over things and still get checks for it. So we run 4 copies of Son of Rizamon to make sure that we see it. Gotta max out on your level 3s. Next, we're playing 4 copies of the Dorumon. This guy is just really good, and bring these down. This guy's really good. He's one of our searches for the deck. His inherited effect lets us gain a memory whenever we add a card to our sources. So whenever, if you already have one in your source and you play another one, you'll be gaining 2 memory. And everything after that, you'll gain 2 memory as you go along because these effects stack. And it's really good for helping you digivolve. Instead of digivolving, for example, into your Mega for 3, you can reduce the cost by 2. If you can, if you digivolve that way off of something like a Dora Greymon, and after this video, I'll make like a combo video or just tips on how you can play the deck and play it to the fullest of the ability. I've been playing this deck since BT7, and I've been proxying and just test playing my ass off with BT8 for this deck, and it has a really good matchup against a lot of stuff. But you know there are cards that just shit on you, like the purple yellow card, the Chaos. Degrade or whatever that card is that's played in yellow, purple, or Megadeth. It's just that card. Those cards are bonkers. But other than that, you have a really good matchup. But like I said, this guy is your searcher. Next, you're going to be playing 4 copies of this guy. This is your other searcher. Also forgot that this guy adds one of your tamers and an X-Antibody, and this guy adds the other tamer and the X-Antibody. This guy adds your Coda, and then this guy adds your UG. This is just really good. It helps you seize all your cards, and it mitigates you playing a lot of search cards like Black Memory Boost. I'm not saying Black Memory Boost is bad, but it's an extra body. And plus, this guy has the inherent effect of giving your Digimon decoy. So if you do just slam something out on the board, and then you move up your stack the next following turn, they can't just kill it with card effects. They have to kill something else and then try to kill your big stack. So having decoy under your Digimon is really good. But that's going to round up all of my level 3s. For the level 4s, I'm playing 3 copies of Rumbabond. You got to play Rumbabond. Rumbabond is just really good. It helps you go for game. Just say you swung out and you checked all security. You have memory left over. You have a Tamer. You can Digivolve the Tamer over for Rumbabond and then swing for game. Grumble for game is just really good. And he has that cheap Evo cost. Yeah, you could run something like Dark Tyrannomon, but no one wants to swing with a blocker. You can't blocker for game with Dark Tyrannomon. Plus, you run a pretty good amount of blockers, and your Digimon has the inherent effect of becoming a blocker. So we don't need blockers. We're just going straight ham with Rumbabond. So yeah, Rumbabond's just really good. Plus, you can Digivolve him over your Tamer, and then you can proceed to build into your stack that way. Or you can just hard play him if you have 3 memory with your memory Tamer. If you don't want to go that route, you can just hard play him for 3. Chuck your opponent at 2. That way you can just build up the following turn. But yeah, we play 3 Rumbabond. That way we can see him. And next we're going to play 4 copies of Rugemon. This guy is just really good. He does have the ability to make himself a blocker if you have another X-Antibody Digimon or a Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits under his stack. His inherent effect is really good and it's very slept on. This guy is really good for getting in there and swinging over things because it gives your Digimon 1k during all turns. It's really good against yellow because if your Digimon is already over 15k and you're swinging into security, you won't get killed by stuff like Wyvern's Breath. It's just a really good card. It helps with Alphamon, helping you get to that 13k so you can swing with the Sunderizamon to proc the effect. It's just a really good card, and I make sure that I hold on to these as much as I possibly can. That way, if there's ever a problem that I can't get over, normally I can just swing over it with the Dora Greymon inherent ability. It's really good. Next, I'm going to be playing 4 copies of the new Genryumon. This is the guy that gives you blocker inherently. And on your opponent's turn, it's just baseline. That's all it does. That's all you need it for. He has 6k DP, which is, it's not bad by any means. But yeah, we use this guy as our blocker. We don't play Funnels of a Gun Punch in this build simply because we have inherent effects that gives us blocker and reboot. So it's not even needed anymore. This guy's just really good. Next, for our level 5s, we're playing 4 copies of Dora Greymon. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I am so glad I got all my pre-release stamps ahead of time before they went up in price. This guy is just really good because you can place a black X-Antibody source under this Digimon to prevent it from being deleted by card effects or having its DP reduced. So again, with that yellow matchup, this is really good because you can go and you can even do some good plays with this. But this guy is just really good for this deck, and he has the inherent effect of giving security attack +1. Again, these stack, you can put another copy under himself to give him security attack +2. That way you can swing for 3 checks. This guy is just really nuts. You gotta play him. Next, we're going to be playing 4 copies of one of the new cards, Hissarium. This guy's just really good. It helps us Digivolve into our Mega fairly easy. Whenever we do place a source under this guy, it'll trigger to Digivolve him for -1 cost. So it'll reduce the cost by 1. So most of the time we're going to be Digivolving into our Mega for either 2 to 3, depending on what it is. It's just really good, and this is the guy that gives us reboot. He has an 8k DP, so he's a really chunky boy. Has a lot of combos with him. Next, for our Megas, we are still playing the 3 copies of Dora Greymon. This guy is just really good against a lot of matchups. He is what you really want to see most of the games. You really want to see this guy because he helps get rid of stuff. And playing Yuji really is really good in tandem with this guy's effect. You can add so many stacks to this guy to make him just swing for so much. And on top of that, you can pop so many cards. So his effect is your turn for each X-Antibody in this card's traits. It gets 1,000 DP. So it'll help us get into that Son of Rugemon threshold of 13k DP, so that we can swing for security attack +1, for instance. And then when attacking, you can place one card with X-Antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's evolutions, and then you can delete up to 2 Digimon that equal the total amount of traits in your of X-Antibody in your traits. So it's really good how that works. So most of the time you're gonna be swinging. And you can on play. Whenever you swing, you're gonna be for the baseline of popping. You're gonna be popping 5. If everything is X antibody, unfortunately you don't get the added benefit of Son of Rizamon if you do have it under him. It'll be at 4 cost that you can pop. So 4 or lower you can pop with Son of Rizamon. Anything else is 5 or lower, and then if you add the Yuji, it'll be 6. So it's really good. With Yuji, it'll be 6, and then effect will be 7. So it's just really good how you can just delete a lot of stuff in this game with this guy. He's just really good for helping you get rid of wide boards if your opponent goes wide, especially against Imperial. You can just delete their stuff very fast and very frequently. Next, for the rest of our level 6s, we are playing 3 copies of Alphamon. This Chad right here is just really good, and he gets even better in the future sets. This guy has a security effect of at the end of the battle you can add it to your hand. So not only will you probably be killing the Digimon that swung into security, but you'll add Alphamon to the hand, and then you'll make it to where up to 12 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack that turn. So that's really good. It's a very good security effect. I've seen 1-0's list and he only played 1. I don't think that's good because it's a really good effect for that to come up, and Alphamon's effect when attacking and at the end of the attack is very abusable, especially if you're playing Oriumon. So I don't understand that, but yeah, we're playing 3 copies of Alphamon. When attacking, you may pay up to 5 memory, and if you do, the Digimon gains 1,000 for each memory you paid, and then at the end of the attack, you gain 2 memory. So if you wanted to be greedy, you could just digivolve into Alphamon. He'll pretty much pay for himself. Whenever you digivolve him over Hissarium, he'll basically just pay for his own digivolution. So it'll honestly just be free for digivolving. Because when you add the source to Hissarium, it'll digivolve it for a -1 cost. So it'll be a 2 cost, and then at the end of the attack, you'll just gain that 2 back. So this is just a free evolution for you. And it's so abusable, especially if you do have the Oriumon under it. You can just swing again and then gain 2 memory. So that's going to be the follow-up card that we are playing. It's 3 copies of the Oriumon. This guy is just really good. Thank you to S. Dot for helping me test play multiple times with this deck. I was featured on his channel in a game that we played with my X-Antibody, and he was just giving me like the rundown, like with his experience with playing against it, playing yellow and stuff like that. And apparently this is like one of the best cards that you can play and sit on in that matchup, just because it has the effect kind of like Dora Greymon to where it can't be deleted by card effects, or have its DP reduced. So it's just a really good card in that matchup. And then when digivolving, you may place 1 card in this with X-Antibody from your hand to the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. That's really good. That's most ultimates. That's most champions. Like, you're gonna be killing a lot of stuff with this guy's effect. And then your turn. Once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution under this Digimon gains 2,000 DP and can't be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's just a really good card. He will go up to being 14k and can't be deleted. And then his inherent effect is the one that lets Alphamon unsuspend. That way you can swing again and potentially just swing for game. It's just really good. But yeah, that's gonna round up all of the Digimon that we play in this deck. Next for the Tamers, since I'm not playing I'm not playing that many copies of Black Memory Boost. I am playing four copies of Coda. This is just how we get to see our Digimon as much as possible. We reveal the top four cards and add a card with X-Antibody from among them to our hand. Luckily, every card for the most part, besides like Rumbabond and Sonorizamon and the rest of our Tamers, is going to be an X-Antibody Digimon, so we're always going to be grabbing something off of Coda. Uh, it's the card that sets us to 3 so that we can make legit plays. And then to round that off, we are playing 4 copies of Yuji. This is pretty much just like Matt and Ty from for Double Diamond. Whenever you would to bring up a X-Antibody Digimon, you'll draw a card and you'll gain a memory. So this guy is just really good. I max him out at 4. That way I'm always making sure that I see him. And then your turn, whenever one of your black Digimon with X-Antibody attacks, you can suspend this Tamer and you can add a card with X-Antibody and its traits under one of your Digimon. So this is really good to help you get into those Oryu Alphamon combos. And a lot of other combos that I'll go into depths into a combo video. But yeah, to round out the deck profile, I know this is kind of long. It's like 16 minutes already, almost 17. We're playing 2 copies of Black Memory Boost. This card is just, another form of helping us see our Digimon whenever we need it. And if it ever gets checked on security, that's just a hammer spark. We're getting to memory during the following turn, so you got to play it. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this deck profile. I'll be making sure that I do a lot of more deck profiles in the future. Maybe some videos with play testing and all the other junk coming here soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. This is Vinny Swartz, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.